Welcome to this podcast from Stratfor, leader in global intelligence.
When is a recession a threat to military security? Right about now, if you're talking about Argentina. Hello, and thanks for tuning in. I'm Marla Dial with the Stratfor Daily Podcast for Thursday, August 13th. There's been positive economic news in some parts of the world this week. In the United States, the Federal Reserve says the recession appears to be near its end, and there's been a tiny bit of growth in France and Germany rather than contraction. But in Argentina, the government's fiscal crisis is only getting worse. And to help reduce some of the red ink, the country's defense minister has just announced plans to cut military spending in half for the quarter, effective immediately, and with more cuts to come. The decision means that Argentina's Air Force and naval aviators are being grounded, and naval patrols are on hold until further notice. Equipment upgrades and replacement programs are being scrapped, and the dreams of a military modernization, which had been espoused by former President Nestor Kirchner, must be deferred. In the near term, tactical proficiency losses seem a logical outcome. And this during a time when most South American states are bulking up their defenses. But given the array of financial and political problems facing the government led by Kirchner's wife, President Cristina Fernández de Kirchner, military spending just might have been the least painful option for budget cuts. Argentina's geography keeps it relatively safe from invasion, and the government doesn't spend much on defense programs anyway. The $2.8 billion that initially had been set aside for defense came to less than 5% of this year's total budget. Stratfor analysts say that even scrapping the military completely wouldn't be enough to get Argentina's balance sheet into the black. The underlying issue, or issues, involve populist spending programs which Kirchner and Fernández have used to shore up political support. One example is yesterday's announcement that subsidies on electricity and natural gas usage would be reinstated as consumers complain about growing energy bills. But Argentina's access to international credit is minuscule, and investors haven't forgotten that it defaulted on $92 billion in foreign debt back in 2001. In order to keep things moving, Argentina's government has had to get creative. A few months ago, it took over private citizens' pension funds in order to patch the holes, but by now, most of that money's been used, and people are starting to feel the pinch. In case slashing the defense budget wasn't startling enough, the beginning of the professional football season in Argentina has been postponed indefinitely, since several teams were so heavily in debt they couldn't afford to pay their players. Given the national passion for the sport, some might call that a security risk in its own right. Be that as it may, it seems likely there are even more spending cuts to come, with possibly more serious consequences for Argentina. As always, you can find out more about this and other geopolitical issues by logging onto our website at www.stratfor.com. I'm Marla Dial. Hope that you enjoy your day.